Good morning. I hope you enjoy your train journey to the Farnborough Air Show.
Yes, you say thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, Stephen.
On the team, we have many different jobs.
Many years ago, my riser broke, and I was at 2,000 feet shouting at the instructor, "My riser broke!" I don't know why. But I got down safely. Just a little heads up, I will never, ever do it again. I'll never be so scared. How you guys do that repeatedly, it's mind-blowing. You're fantastic. And as our American cousins say, thank you all for your service.
Thank you.
It is one of the original, earliest forms of aviation activity, parachute jumping, far predates the powered aircraft. And the urge to jump off bullshit, it goes back hundreds of years, and in 1783 it was the Frenchman Louis Sebastian Lenormand who conducted the first recorded successful parachute jumping history, jumping from a building in Montpellier, descending under a very large umbrella. At around the same time, hot air balloons were starting to take off in Paris, and it's pretty risky business though, as passengers had no means of escape if something went wrong, and so it was that in 1797 another Frenchman, André-Jacques Ganahan, decided to demonstrate a hot air balloon safety device, which is generally regarded as the first true parachute. And then as soon as the aeroplane was invented, people wanted to try jumping out of those as well, and in 1912 Albert Berry, an American, became the first person to jump from an aircraft and land under parachute. But really, up until the 1960s, those parachutes were totally unrecognisable compared to what we just saw demonstrated by the Red Devils. They were little more than ships of battle, steerable wind, and it's become the dominant kind of parachuting used today, and it's what we saw in the last few moments being flown by the Red Devil. They're rectangular in shape, as you saw, composed of open-ended tubes which form a rigid wing-like structure when air passes through them in forward flight. And that canopy, when inflated, produces a small amount of lift. You fly it much like a fixed-wing glider. But there's no moving control surfaces like ailerons or elevators. A350 aircraft have been ordered from 68 customers, and 725 have been delivered. They're flying on 1,300 routes around the world. The first of them entered service in 2015, and this version, the 1000, entered service in 2018. The A350 family is constantly evolving. The newest incremental improvements include a 4-inch wider cabin to enable the world's longest commercial flight with flight times of around 22 hours. For example, linking Sydney and Melbourne with destinations such as London and New York non-stop for the first time. It completed the route in 19 hours and 15 minutes. The test team told us this morning that it was a very successful test indeed, so our congratulations to them. Now the aircraft coming down the cloud line from the right for a low-speed, high angle of attack pass at 800 feet and approximately 130 knots. What's the plan now, Mike, for Eurofighter? Where are you going to be displaying after Farnborough? Around Europe?
Italy, Italy, Jesolo on the 12th of September,
and then Ostrava, NATO days from
Oh, NATO
17
days, that's a
to
great
21st September.
You're going to be at NATO days, aren't you? I certainly will be. Always look forward to it, and it's so that your unit, Mike, with a Papa Sperimentale di Volo, always supports so well. It's a fascinating unit. It translates as Flight Test Department, and it's based at Pratica di Mare, just outside Rome, and you do some really interesting work there.
Thank you. Yeah, wing department center, you choose, but you said correctly, the original name is Reparto Sperimentale Volo. Well, it's a pretty special department. Think of us as the first...
Different types of aircraft as well, which expands the envelope further to test pilots themselves. So you can tell from this very polished display as we see into the hold, and we'll be back very shortly with full display. So safety for the aircrew and safety for you as well. So this just demonstrates from the Italian Air Force if there is a problem with the aircraft, they will not just move forward and still fix the aircraft. So it looks like the Italian Air Force Typhoon is taxiing back to the circle area, and that's going to leave a little hole for us as we wait for the next flying item. So we can give you an update on what's continuing to fly started.
Every air show display is carefully designed with strict operational limits, so safety.
As we approach now the centre point of the airfield, Eagle 3 climbs and pulls into a 270-degree wing over. Receives the aircraft pitch 45 degrees nose up, rolls to 90 degrees angle of bank before turning the aircraft in 270 degrees away from the crowd. To your right now as well, Eagle 1 and 2 are pulled a 180-degree wing over, exit towards you guys, and fly back towards the centre of the airfield, where the pilots are working incredibly hard to maintain formation in the complex manoeuvres and meet terrain to stay close with an M350 towers to the side of the aircraft with an effective range of 2 kilometres, which allows it to defend itself but also conduct for an escort protection. Farnborough frame is also fitted to have a winch mounted to the top of it. Now the Wildcat can be used for rapidly inserting troops to hostile locations. On the nose of the aircraft you might be able to see the NX-15 camera, capable of thermal imaging out to 8 kilometres in both day and night conditions. Its ability to find, combined with the Wildcat targeting lasers, means that it is able to hand over targets to the Apaches, enabling Wildcat and Apache teaming, creating even more lethality on the battlefield. The aircraft tracks at cruise head, they are capable of engaging targets by looking through their monocle in their right eye. All the pilots need to do is look at the target, squeeze the trigger, and a deadly burst of 30mm cannon rounds will destroy that target. If you look at the wing stubs, you'll also see the circular M261 rocket pods.
The runway, down the left-hand end of the showground, we have the Aerobatic from the UAE Air Force. This is the first time in over a decade that a jet aerobatic team has performed a full aerobatic display here at the Farnborough International. Grateful to them for the hard work that they have done. And Joe, for you, this is a team with which you have had a long association. I think it's only right that you would...
course, 7 aircraft representing 7 Emirates of the United Arab Emirates. Obviously, of course, Dubai, Emirates within the United Arab Emirates. Abu Dhabi, like Big Red, or if you go over to Abu Dhabi, water. Highly recommend. Many years, the Farnborough Air Show was flying very dependable Aerobatic A350, more than 15 years. Within last year at the Dubai Air Show, I was pleased to be there, and they unveiled this new aircraft. And the National Aerobatic team has transitioned for high performance flying, powered by Austrian turbofan engines, significant range, acceleration, flying fully fly-by-wire speed, long transitions that we've been doing over back to Europe, and the drop-down flight to Europe and yes, it's good itself, very capable aircraft. Our find the center of Farnborough Emirates, can find some gifts, and we can
the runway from the left side for the first maneuver, which is big wing. Farnborough Air Show. Now, for Farnborough Emirates is about to enter from the left side without number 7 because it's preparing for the other different maneuver. Farnborough Emirates will the 6 aircraft on the left side. Number 6 power